What's up, guys? It's Fresh for Real. I'm back, and we're going to be going over 13-star katanas so far. So, as you know, the new update released, and I wanted to show off some of the new katanas that dropped. Here are some of them. I'm not going to go over all of the 13-star katanas, especially the ones pre-update. Well, I'll go over like 2 or 3, but I won't go into great detail about them because they're kind of being phased out. 1 or 2 are still valid, but the new 13-star katanas that are coming out have increased base damage. And if you don't know, increased base damage meaning it hasn't been plussed at all, it hasn't been enhanced at all. The higher that is, the higher the max damage is base that it will be when you max it out at 35. So let's start. First, I'm going to be going over the Mars Zansho. It's the upgraded version of the Aura Zansho. The Aura Zansho's potential just increases your damage against bosses. Period. That's it. At one point in time, I was hung up on this and I really, really wanted it because we were, of course, doing boss farms. Now there are better katanas out and I've kind of, turn my gaze a little bit. The upgraded version, though, the Mars Zansho, it's 13 stars. It can be used by Braver and Phantom, and the potential is it increases power by 8%, damage by 3%, and active PP recovery by 20% against bosses. Now, the first part of that, the increased power by 8%, that's unconditional. It's the damage at 3% and active PP recovery at 20%, that's conditional. And that's only versus bosses. At level 2, the increase in power is 8%, the increase in damage is 4%, and the active PP recovery is 30%. At level 3, the increase in power is 12%, again, unconditional. The damage is increased to 5%, and the active PP recovery is increased to 40%, and those are against bosses. Again, that's conditional, so you can do a little bit of both. You're going to be doing increased damage across the board with the 12%, and then it's going to bump it up a notch and your PP recovery up a notch when you come across a boss. So to me, that it's a pretty good katana for farming, especially if you're going to do expeditions where you have the potential to go from crowds of mobs to a boss to back to crowds of mobs to a boss again. Next, we're going to be looking into the Gixx katana. This thing is a beauty. I love it. It is beautiful. It can be used, it's a 13 star. It can be used by Braver or Phantom. And the potential on it is power is increased by 6% at base and increases over time to 12% at level 1. At level 2, it starts at 6% again and increases to 16%. And at level 3, it starts at 6% and increases to a whopping 20%, which is the highest boost for power that I've seen on a katana in this game so far. But the downside of it is, or its condition is, it resets if a mate item is used. Meaning if you're running a hunter sub and you have automate, 9 times out of 10, it's going to keep resetting every time you automatically use a mate item. So, to me, in my opinion, the Gixx is more for braver fighter, where you don't have automate and you can choose when to use your mates. You can keep that huge DPS increase of 20% and choose when you want to use a mate. So, if you have some downtime in between spawns or you run into the next group of enemies or something like that, and you want to pop a mate, drop that 20% down to 12. And over time, I believe it's 70 seconds. So it's a minute and 10 seconds. Get it back up, then you're back in the fight. So it's just something to think about. Next, I want to talk about the Slave Cougar. Now, I currently use this weapon. It's the one that looks like a dark corkscrew. It's a 13 star. It's one of the new ones that dropped with the update. It can be used by Braver or Phantom. This weapon is amazing for Braver. If you're a true hardcore Braver, you will see the value in this weapon. So, the potential. Increases power by 12%. And it generates a barrier that negates knockbacks gives you 10% auto PP recovery, meaning you don't have to do anything and your PP recovers 10% more. And it gives you 10% attack PP recovery, meaning you will never be without PP. If you are, you're doing something wrong. At level 2, it increases your power by 15%, and it gives you 15% more auto PP recovery and 20% attack PP recovery. At level 3, it's major. 17% increase in power, 20% auto PP recovery, and 30% attack PP recovery. Now, the condition, because I know it sounded perfect, the condition for this is that it activates every 30 seconds. So in a 10-minute fight, half of the fight you'll have it and half of the fight you don't, if you want to think about it that way, if it's activating every 30 seconds. I love it. The reason why I think it's perfect for Braver is because Braver's reach is so short that a lot of times heavy attacks, and they'll knock you across the room. And then you have to run back or dash back, which uses PP, and you have to get back in your groove again. This, I'm talking about, I think I created a video, my last video. You see me standing there with this katana equipped, and I get swung on. Even in this video, I get swung on by something that would normally knock a Braver, not using the slave cougar. It would knock them across the room. I just stand there and shrug it off and keep going with my combo and my routine. Anyway, something to think about. Moving on, we're going to move to the Nemesis cougar, which is the light version of the slave cougar. It can be used by Braver or Phantom only. It's a 13-star, and its potential at level 1 is it increases power by 12%. You take 40% less damage, and you get 10% PP reduction cost. So, at level 1, 10% off the cost of your photon arts and 40% less damage taken. Level 2, 15% increase in power, 40% less damage taken, and 15% off the cost of your PP for your photon arts. At level 3, again, a major 17%, 40% damage taken, less damage taken, and 20% PP reduction cost. Again, it's one of those things. I believe it's great for Braver. You still get the knockback, but you get a lot less damage taken, which in mobbing, when you're facing one way or you're trying to counter and you get hit from behind, you're taking less damage altogether. Because it is the opposite or the antithesis of the slave cougar, it's going to be active every 30 seconds. That's the condition of it. Some honorable mentions are going to be the Yasha, which is a 13-star pre-update released katana. It can be used by all classes, and the potential for that one is the power is increased by 14% when your HP is lower than 25%. Again, this is another katana that's going to see great use as Braver fighter. Now, you can do it as hunter, but your automate might screw that up. At level 2, your power is increased by 15%. Again, it's only when your HP is lower than 25%. And at level 3, it's increased by 17% also when your HP is lower than 25%. So it's a good one for the fighter subclass when you're Braver fighter or Phantom fighter. I'm not sure how Phantom works because it hasn't been released yet, but that's what you're gonna want to aim for. Next, honorable mention, Yamigasaru. It's a 13-star. It can be used by all classes. Interestingly enough, this katana has two potentials. The first one being it boosts perfect attack damage by 7% when using different photon arts at level 1. At level 2, it's 10%, and at level 3, it's 14%. When I say using different photon arts, some people can play Braver, and their style, they may not want to spam the same photon art over and over again. Myself, I just think that there are situations where you might need to use the same one. Flash of the Lotus being one. It hits very hard at the end. You dash in with a hit, and then you dash out with a stronger hit. So you can dash in a group of mobs, release the big hit, dash out, and from the outside release the strong hit. In which case, I would be using the same photon art. this wouldn't be a good katana for me. But for people with a more versatile playstyle, it's great. The second potential, I only have the level 3 version of it because my internet knowledge, or my knowledge on the internet that I had access to, was limited. But at level 3, it increases power and PP recovery for each successful perfect guard, it said. But bravers don't guard, they counter. So even if you were guarding as a braver, if you held the block button, it still wouldn't count as a perfect guard. So I'm going to just, for the purposes of this video, and I'll take the heat if somebody debunks it or proves it wrong, it increases power and PP recovery for each successful perfect counter by 5% per guard for a maximum of 15%. The condition is you lose the effect if you take unguarded damage. So, you know, you got to get it in where you fit it in. Next honorable mention, and last but not least, I used this katana for a long time, is the Psyche revolutio. It is a 13-star. It can only be used by the Braver or the Phantom. The first potential, it has 2, just like the Yami Gasaru. The first potential, at level 1, it boosts the effect of perfect attacks by 6%, at level 2 by 7%, and at level 3 by 8%. Now, again, I'll take the heat for it if somebody proves this wrong. But as far as I know, when it says they boost the effect of perfect attacks, it means all perfect attacks, to include pulling off a perfect attack as a photon art. So you can take that with a grain of salt. And if you have any comments, put it down in the comment section below. The second potential, it's 3-part. It increases power based on the damage dealt to a max of 16%, 1% for every 50,000 damage dealt. At level 75, that's nothing. That's like 2 attacks on a braver, and that's 1% for every 2 attacks. Second part, it reduces damage received based on the damage already taken. The damage you need to take, to activate it is 300. Not 300%, just 300 damage. And then you activate your, what is that? You reduce your damage you receive after that. The third one is it decreases PP consumption based on the PP you've already consumed. And that amount needs to just be 100 PP. That's 5 katana photon arts. That's it. 5 katana skills, and you've reduced your amount of PP consumption. All of these are at 16% max. So again, you can get it in where you fit it in. It was a great katana. The second potential, as far as I know, is not in the game yet. It takes a special item to actually activate it. So you can only use the first potential for now, but it still is a very good katana. And I used it all the way up until I received my slave cougar, which is what I've been using for this video. Again, going back to the slave cougar, there's going to be a clip coming up shortly where I just shrug off a hit that would have knocked me back. It is great for braver. It is so great. Definitely look into it. Anyway, that's going to be it. I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me know what you guys want to see. If you are on ship 2, just drop me a line. I want to play with my viewers, okay? If you see my videos, yeah, I don't care if you have or you haven't subscribed. If you've seen my videos and you've watched it up until this point and you're on ship 2, drop me a line. I want to play with my viewers. I want to farm. I want to help you guys get geared up. I want to get geared up with you. I want to have a story. I want to put you in my videos. So I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers. So you guys like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see. Here's the clip coming up right here. I was doing Nightfall with a friend, and I just wanted to test and see if I could, shrug off a hit that would normally launch a Braver or any melee class across the room. And sure enough, it worked. So it's just something to think about. Again, let me know what you guys want to see. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a rough one. I'm not gonna lie. I actually had to write down some talk points for this one, but that's just growth. And that's what I want to do with this channel. That's what I want to do with this community is grow. I'd love to play with you guys. I'm pretty sure Yinko would too. Check his channel out. I will drop a link down below to his channel, but that's my partner. We often play together. We often farm together. We gear up together. And if that's something that you want to join in on, drop either one of us a line and we'll get you in there. That's the hit right there. That hit would have launched me across the room, and I just stood there and I continued what I was doing, which is beating that ass. Anyway, if you guys want to farm with us, if you guys want to see more videos, let us know. Drop it down in the comments. I'll give you my gamer tag. I'm on ship 2. Yinko's on ship 2. And let's get it in, okay? Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. All right. It's fresh for real. Peace.